I'm moving too far.
What's up, guys? We're getting started on installing some rear speakers in this 97 Crown Victoria. I got the back seat pulled up back here. The rear speakers are like right up in this region on both sides, and to install them correctly you need to get underneath this fabric board here, and I think to do that I need to get the back seat out of the way. The bottom portion of the back seat, you just lift up on it from the front and it like clips. See right there, it clips into those slots. So you can just pull it up, set it out of the way, and now I'm over here to right here on these seat belt holdy spots. That bolt right there holds the lower portion of the seat belt, and it holds a mounting bracket to this back seat. So when I get this bolt and that bolt out, this will lift up out of these little clippy things up here somewhere. If you can see that, the little clippy thing there, when we get the bolts out we can lift the back seat up off of that. And then that big round thing you see right there is just underneath the factory speakers, and we're going to leave all that alone and go in through the top. So now we'll go ahead and get these bolts pulled out and pop this back seat off and see what we need to do from there. Now that we got those nuts removed on both sides, and that's an 11/16 nut, I had to use a wrench over here. It's like an odd sized nut. The open end of the wrench fits perfect, but the close end just doesn't fit at all. So even if you had an 11/16 socket, that may not work out too good for you. But maybe it's metric, I'm not sure. You know what size it is, Muffin? We know the open end of an 11/16 fits, but it's not fun turning them off with a wrench. Anyway, now that they're off, we can come in here and grab it right from the middle and maybe need two hands. Grab it up in here, lift off of those studs, and pick the back straight up. And then there we go. And then that's what it looks like underneath the seat. And there's a lot of sound deadening stuff. And then up here, this is what we have to get underneath. So it looks like I may have to pop some of this trim loose here to get that to come out from under it, and we've got some push pins here and there. I also see a Phillips head screw up there in that third brake light cover. I imagine I need to get that off before this can come up. So now we'll get to removing all that stuff. Just pulled these two screws out of each side of this housing. Now this will lift up. You see, that's the entire third brake light assembly. See? So now we'll come down here. There's a little clip right there. We'll try to unclip. Watch out for your thumbs. Hey, there we go. Now that's loose and free. Look at this. It looks like these slide in and out, I reckon. Does that come out of there? Yep. So now these prehistoric little mounting things slide out on each side, and that is just for what we're doing here. That's so we can lift this cover. Oh, you gotta push the cover down enough to get this to come over it. There we go. Now with those out of the way, this thing can lift up back there. Now I've pulled these two push pins out. That's these things. Now the last thing I need to do to get this to come up so I can get to the tops of the original speakers is this is way up underneath this trim. So on the other side I've already pulled this off. See? I pulled that cover off. There's another pin right here. That one comes in right here. And to remove this completely, you need to take the seat belt out. But without taking the seat belt out, I've got it pulled up this far. See all my like 1/2 inch of clearance everywhere. So I'm going to try to leave the seat belt in. Do the same thing over here where I get it pulled up off of the thing, and I think that might be far enough to pull this out so I don't actually have to remove those big seatbelt bolts. Alright, as you can tell here, we got it. You do have plenty of clearance without taking the seat belts out, but mine, this thing was a big struggle to pull out in my case because of, you see the back window seal there? Especially right here where all the fuzzies are, and right here on the edge of this thing, it was actually like, I guess the back window seal getting hot over the, however old the car is, 20 whatever years, it had like glued itself to this thing. So it all kind of came right out from everywhere except this back corner. It was stuck really good, but I got that out and it's out of the way now. Now we can get to our factory old speakers here. That sure looks like a big old fancy stereo setup back here with the big bulges up for the speakers and all this sound deadening. I bet it'll sound really nice in here when we put my good speakers in. Here's the dinky little factory 6x9s from 1997. I think that 130 means 130 max wattage maybe. See the neat little holes they go in? This car is really set up to have a very, very good sounding stereo. So now that we've got a newer stereo in it, I've already done the front speakers. Didn't show you guys that, but those are a lot easier than these. So after we put these in, this thing will be sounding really, really nice in the stereo department. And here's the new speakers. A little bit of a size difference in the magnet and the wattage. I think the other one said 130 and these are like 400, which is good because we were upgrading the speakers in the car, because after I put the new stereo in, we blew up a few of the old speakers. Both the front ones were crackling real hard. So now we're over here. I got my soldering iron and my soldering, and we've got our kit came with this wiring harness, and it's really dinky wiring compared to the factory stuff I'd be tying into. So I think it'd be better just to go straight from the factory thicker wire straight to our connector here, and then I'm just going to solder the connector to that wire. I mean, not connector, but the tab on the speaker, instead of putting a connector in, because it's not like I'm going to need to unplug these and take them out. Alright, now we've got our connections soldered up nice and strong. We're ready to wrap those up with some electrical tape and stick them back in the holes. Ooh, check us out. We got blue tape to match the blue cones. And if you're wondering how I knew which wire to hook where, I googled speaker wiring diagram for this car, 97 Ford Crown Vic, and it laid out which was what. This right one is in, and this is what I've got going on for mounting. See, I'm using those factory screws in there. Here's one of the factory screws, and this is the hardware set that comes with the speakers, and I'm taking the washer out of there, putting it on the factory screw so it holds down tight to the speaker there. And these little covers won't fit underneath here, so we'll have to go coverless, but we'll still be covered with that. The hardware has you like bolting through with washers and nuts, and that's all fine and dandy, but if I can use this factory stuff so I don't have to get inside the trunk and up here at the same time, that's cool too. Just like we didn't do anything at all. Alright, wrap up our little replacing the rear speakers expedition here. See, everything's all put back together and looks nice. And I don't know how well y'all hear this on camera, but it sounds good too. Yep. So now with our new, more powerful stereo, we got some speakers to actually go with it. So maybe Missy won't blow these up. Everything sure sounds a lot better in here now. We kind of got a complete deal with the new stereo and all the speakers. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you for making it all the way to the end of this. Hopefully this helps out anybody that's replacing the rear speakers in their Crown Victoria. Don't forget to smash the like button and comment, subscribe, and all that garbage, and y'all have a great day.